tonight. I'ma die tonight. I'm supposed to die tonight. I'ma ride tonight. I'ma die tonight. I think I'm gonna die tonight.
Okay, let's ignore the obvious with my absences and leaving my channel to die because I want to talk to you all about Dark Souls and why I think its ending is the greatest ending in all of gaming. Well, to me at least. Now, before anything at all, we gotta talk about Halo Reach,
Good guns, fight. All stations, brace for cast-off.
which I know, random, but hear me out. Now, Halo Reach, this is my personal favorite Halo, and I with all my heart believe that it's the absolute best. I know some of you like are befuddled right now, but it's just it's just perfect. Now I see recently it's been getting a lot of appreciation, but me, I've been fighting for this game since 2010. Okay, I was like what 14 years old, 14. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't claim to be the founder of the Halo Reach was good agenda, but I do claim to be a founding father of it. Um, that was all script, and it sounded better in my head. But let's move on. I'm not going to edit that out. So, why is this game needed for me to talk about the ending to Dark Souls? Because not only are the endings similar, but I have a very special place in my heart for them both. And you'll also see as we go on that I pretty much love them for the same reasons. But yeah, like I said, you'll see. Now, in the ending to Halo Reach, um, spoiler alert, I guess, you're the last man standing fighting off an invading continent that's glassing the planet. You can fight them off as long as you want to, but no matter how good you are at the game, you're guaranteed to eventually be overrun and killed, and Planet Reach will fall. No matter how hard you fight, nothing will change that fact. Even still, you're given some hope in the hopelessness, because after some time passes, we see the helmet of our now slain character, Noble Six. But instead of some, scary apocalyptic environment that we saw when Reach first fell, we can now see the planet now has a beautiful blue sky with clouds and mountains in the distance.
It didn't take long for Reach to fall. Our enemy was ruthless, efficient, but they weren't nearly fast enough. For you had already passed the torch, and because of you, we found Halo, unlocked its secrets, shattered our enemy's resolve. Our victory, your victory, was so close. I wish you could have lived to see it. But you belong to Reach. Your body, your armor, all burned and turned to glass. Everything. Except your courage. That you gave to us. And with it, we can rebuild.
So, even in defeat, even in death, even during the literal end of the world, the planet perseveres, hope still perseveres, and most importantly, humanity still perseveres, which finally brings me to the Soul series. Oh man, where do I even begin with the ending to this series? Well, first, let's go over some lore so that people who have either never played or heard of this game can actually, know what the fuck I'm talking about. However, I've had 13 different attempts trying to explain this lore. This is my 14th attempt. The reason being, every time I try to explain the lore to this series, this video turns from a video essay into a State of the Union address, which we can't have that. So I'm going to let the game itself explain its own lore.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
So as the narrator said, the flames, or the entire Age of Fire really, is fading, and soon only dark will remain. That's the natural order of the world. All cycles must come and go. The Age of Ancients came and went, the Age of Fire is supposed to come and go, and then the Age of Dark, or Man, is supposed to come and go. However, this was not to be. Now, I'm sure a good chunk of you are aware of the law of diminishing returns, but for those who aren't, basically it's when you're having consistent or increased input of something multiple times, but the output or gain of that input would decrease more and more. Basically, the more you do something, the less you get out of it. So that's exactly what's happening in Dark Souls. Over the course of thousands of years, Gwyn and every Lord Ascender after him had all artificially extended the Age of Fire and it grows weaker each time a new lord rekindles the flame. Now, compare when you link the fire in Dark Souls 1 to when you linked it in Dark Souls 3. In Dark Souls 1, there is a huge and bright explosion that ushered in a new age of fire when you defeated Gwyn and became Lord of Cinder. But fast forward thousands of years to Dark Souls 3, you will now see the flame is now pitiful and weak, and it barely even sets you alight when you rekindle it. The world just wants to die, but it's not being allowed to. Which now all brings me to just Dark Souls 3. The Ring City DLC to be exact, as that's where the ending to the entire series takes place. After some, let's say, events during your journey in the Ring City, you eventually are pushed into a far future where there's nothing left of the world but ash and remnants of kingdoms that were smushed together as the world itself and time itself really converged. And most importantly, you and a character named Uncle Gil. You and Gil are the same. Both pawns of the gods in one way or the other. Both may not want to admit it. You both have fought side by side together and had the same journey, the same goals, mostly. But now here you are, at the end of the world, and the only two people left on this world aren't lords or gods or champions or kings, or even just regular people with average lives. It's instead just a cursed, undead, unkindled warrior and a lowly slave knight who each are still fighting for their hopes and goals despite the world around them ceasing to exist. After defeating Gil, there is no cutscene, no music, no congratulations, no anything. So when Gale falls, you finally get to truly see just how silent and tired and broken this world is. The only thing you can hear are your own thoughts and the sounds of ash flying through the wind. You've defeated countless powerful beings, including Gale, but none of that matters now. There is no world left to inhabit, no world to celebrate in, not even a world to truly rest in. But just like the ending to Halo Reach, despite the apocalypse, there still is hope. Your character does still stand tall and makes its way to use the Dark Soul to paint a brand new world with a new beginning, which that by itself is a lot to explain, but maybe one day. Now this is my favorite ending in all of gaming because despite the quiet loudness, I guess we can call it, of this apocalypse, our character still has so much it tries to fight for. And I can relate to this ending, the world, the character, everything. Because just like the world in Dark Souls, I can also feel worn out. I can feel hopeless. I can feel gray and soulless at times. Just like the first flame, my flame shined bright once upon a time. Now there's just embers. However, just like our character, I still fight because as long as I'm breathing, there will always be something to keep going in life for. My flame might just be embers, but embers can still ignite brand new fires. The world ended in Dark Souls, but it didn't cease to exist. So our character was able to find new hope in a new world as a result. Just like no matter how worn out our dead, I, or others feel, we still will always be able to inherit a new flame that will ignite us once again. This is why Dark Souls has the best ending in gaming. Because it's an ending my life and me myself needed to see. Thank you so much for watching.